It was a lovely summer's day. The light shone down upon the fields of oats and golden wheat, on the meadows studded with flowers, dancing in the breeze. Round field and meadow stood great forests, and hidden within their depths were lakes that sparkled through the shadow of the leaves. In the sunniest spot of all stood an old mansion surrounded by a deep moat, and in the deep leaves at the water's edge, a duck sat on her nest, waiting impatiently for her eggs to crack.
"Oh, dear, this is taking much longer than I thought it would," she fretted. "I do hope that the eggs are all right, especially the big one with the little spots. Oh, goodness me, I think they're starting to crack."
One by one, the ducklings popped out of their shells and started to scurry about. But still, one egg remained unhatched, the largest one of all. "You may be sure it's a turkey egg," said an old duck who had come to pay a visit. "I once had one like that. I had no end of trouble with it. After it hatched, it simply refused to go near the water." She took a closer look. "Yes, I am sure it's a turkey egg." But finally, the big egg started to crack, and the young one came tumbling out.
"He certainly is very big," said the mother duck.
"And very ugly," thought the old duck. But soon the duckling began to waddle about. But all was not well. The poor duckling, who had been the last to come out of the shell, was bitten, pushed about, and made fun of by both ducks and hens. Worst of all, his brothers and sisters teased him constantly. Finally, the duckling decided that he had had enough. He ran off and flew right over the fence.
It's because I'm so ugly, thought the poor duckling, shutting his eyes as he ran off. Then he came to a great marsh where the wild geese lived. He was so tired and miserable that he stayed there the whole night. In the morning, a wild goose came up to him and inspected him.
What's wrong with you? Asked the goose.
I'm so ugly that I'm hated by all the hens and ducklings where I live, so I just ran away from home, said the duckling sadly.
And where do you think you are running to? Asked the goose.
I don't know, said the duckling. I hadn't thought of that.
Well, why don't you become a bird of passage? Fly away with us and discover the great wide world.
You mean you don't mind that I'm so ugly?
Not at all. You're so ugly, we've taken a fancy to you. Your face has real character.
So off they flew, the geese and the duckling, higher and higher into the cloudless blue expanse of the sky. The duckling watched the landscape slowly change beneath his flapping wings.
How happy I am, he thought to himself.
But suddenly shots rang out. "Hunter!" shouted the geese. Fly away, they cried. Shots filled the air. One grazed the duckling on the head. He plummeted to the ground. The duckling landed in a marsh. He looked up and saw a hunting dog coming straight at him. He ran for his... And just when the dog caught up with the duckling, he passed right by.
I'm so ugly that even dogs won't bite me, thought the duck, his heart beating madly.
It was now autumn, and the nights were getting cold. The duckling trudged on in search of shelter until he came upon a poor little cottage. There he found a cat. And a hen.
creature might you be? Asked the cat.
I'm a duck, I think.
Meow, well, you're the ugliest duck that I've ever seen, said the cat. But you can stay if you make yourself useful.
Useful? Asked the duck. How could I make myself useful?
Well, can you purr, arch your back, or make your eyes glow in the dark?
The duckling said he could do none of these things, but could the hen?
No, said the cat. I must admit that she is not as talented as I, but she can lay eggs. Can you?
I'm not sure, said the duckling, but I'm willing to try.
Very well, said the cat. We will give you 6 weeks. If you can produce an egg by then, you can stay.
So the duckling sat down and tried to lay an egg.
No, you're doing it all wrong, said the hen. You have to put your legs into it, like this.
The weeks went by, but still there was no egg.
Now, what do you have to say for yourself? Said the cat.
I'm trying as hard as I can, said the duckling, but there seems to be a slight problem.
No, and what might that be?
I'm a boy duck.
Fake imposter fraud! They chased him out of the house and slammed the door shut.
It was now winter. Snow soon covered the ground. The duckling swam in the pond to keep warm, but gradually the pond froze over. The hole in the ice that he swam in grew smaller and smaller until the pond had become a sheet of cold, hard ice. The duckling huddled, shivering in the nearby bushes as the cold sun shone dimly through the gray sky. It would be too sad to tell of all the misery the duckling endured that long, long winter. But slowly the snows melted, the sun shone warmly, and the little pond once again rippled in the gentle breeze. And when the duckling gazed into the water, he found to his amazement that he had become a beautiful swan. as the swan glided gracefully over the gently rippling water, a mother duck and her ducklings came swimming by. "Look, Mother," said one of the ducklings. "What a beautiful swan! I wish I could look like that." "Hush, child," said the mother duck. "Don't you know that you must be born beautiful?"